let's talk a little bit about Horizon. Because Horizon is a game that straight up fascinated me with its graphical design and assets. Like the sheer amount of detail per model was and is still insane. Like, I do not know of a other game that has the same amount of detail. And I always hold modern games versus Crysis 3. Because Crysis 3, even though it's like, what was it, 2012, 2013, up to this day holds a really great graphical standard. The game, Crysis 3, is like 13 or 20 gigabytes large. It has a multiplayer. It looks simply amazing while not having the best story. It has a really good story to tie up Crysis 1 and 2 though. And yeah, just the graphics all together in Crysis 3 are just so freaking amazing. And then when the Crysis remasters were released, where Crytek just simply put in a ray tracing module without changing the game in of itself. Like, sure, it is very very damaging for the image that they demanded $40 per title. And then later on, bundles made it actually affordable with the amount of work that went into those titles again. But while in my eyes they had a massive image hit and were just greedy, they also did some minor development work. Like I always will criticize in Crysis 1 that they reduced the enemy numbers quite a lot. Which, like the respawn, like you only get one respawn wave in most scenarios. As to before you had like 3 or 4. So you feel way less as a superhuman warrior. The power fantasy is greatly diminished by that decision. But what it greatly showed is how Crysis 1 is basically a game for 4080p graphics, Crysis 2 720p, and then Crysis 3 is the 1080p game, and you can really see how amazing that game really is, and what the CryEngine can do. And then in addition to that, putting that ray tracing module on it is freaking amazing. And then you keep in mind that it has a multiplayer, a fully fledged out multiplayer, and it is like 23 or so gigs large. And then you compare to modern games and you ask yourself, what the fuck, why am I downloading 120 gigabytes of a video game that looks like a Minecraft mod? So when I came across Horizon Zero Dawn, I finally found a refreshing game that reset the standard, that gave me, or it reset the clock off. You know, finally a good looking game. Also the clock for finally a really nice story. And while you don't really see a lot of impact of your choices. The areas in of itself have enough story and are impacted enough for me to forgive that. All of the choices in the end only show a different NPC skin of your allies, of the allied NPCs that will assist you in the battle. So, yeah. But with that being said, when I played HZD and got into the DLC, that was one of the most amazing moments in video game ever. Because I didn't go through a fog wall, I didn't go through a loading screen. Simply the environment slowly changed. And I was able to read the environment and notice that I'm in a different book. A book that is adjacent. It will probably not have any impact on the main story of the base game, but it was simply more of the same. I mean, even the resources that you found, you suddenly had sheep instead of turkeys or boars. You had different kind of frosty animals. So everything told you are in the DLC area, you are not in the base game. And nothing needed to tell me that. And I find that amazing. The art of environmental storytelling that way. I live for those kind of games. Especially since I stopped playing competitive. So now being here and having an entire new game, I'm really freaking scared of playing this game. Because right now we live in a time where sequels are more there to shit on the previous edition of the story and to crush previous characters to elevate the new characters. Where simply having a new character that just exists and learns how everything works is not enough. The only way where you can elevate someone is by putting someone else down. And for some reason, it has to be the previous main character. And sure, in the last 2 years, less of that has happened. But that doesn't excuse the past 6 years of these kind of stories. So, that's history for you. So for this game, I simply want more of the same game. I will probably feel extremely alienated to any new kind of mechanic. Will probably have an extensive amount of trouble even adapting to it. Because when I play Horizon, I play Horizon Zero Dawn, so Let's hope my brain can play Horizon Forbidden West.